Oh my. I'm not sure when I go on the Furka Pass. Oh my, oh my, oh my, no.
Not a huge amount of safety barriers.
What have I said about saying things you don't need to say? Oh my god, I can't breathe. There's something like awful up there, like nuclear waste or something.
What? So guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Nicola Ignoring You. Welcome back to Switzerland. And welcome to the Grimsel Pass, which stands at about 2,100 meters. Now, we're going to stay up here. You pay 16 Swiss francs and you get to stay in a salubrious car park, although you do get access to the restaurant's toilet while it's open. And then tomorrow morning, when it's quite quiet, we're going to head up to the Furka Pass, which stands at just over 2,400 meters. And yeah, apparently there's marmots in this area.
What are marmots like? Are they like big fluffy rats or something? Don't think I've ever seen a marmot.
Keep your seed, feed Nicola.
I mean, how big are they? Are they like this big? Are they this big?
Depends how close you get to them. Marmots, you either love them or you hate them. No, hang on, that's marmite, isn't it? And as expected, being at this altitude, it's about 10 degrees cooler than what it was down at the lakeside. We stopped off this morning just for a little coffee just by the lake, and actually this morning I went out for a little bit of pixel popping time. Yes guys, good morning. Out trying to see whether there's any morning light to be had. It's about 5:30 in the morning. Yeah, don't expect Nicola to be anywhere near me. It's such a beautiful morning, and what an incredible find, especially in a rather expensive country to stop over. €4. Now it looks like you can only stay here one night. The wee man come round and say one night. But yeah, €4. Okay, it's in a car park by a road, but you get access to this lovely swimming park, this lovely park, and toilets that are open 24/7. Compared to the campsite, which is literally next door. Some vans are parked pretty much on tarmac, and that I think would have cost him 56 Swiss francs versus 4 Swiss francs. So, but yeah, just waiting to see whether there's any light coming up over those yon distant hills. And also, oh, the swans getting a bit nasty to the little ducks. But yeah, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And actually it's going to be quite nice today because it's going to feel like 31 down here. We're at about 800 meters. And we're going to get a little bit higher. Where I think this time tomorrow morning, if everything goes to plan, it's going to be somewhat cooler. Right, I'm going to get back, see whether there's any images to be had. And then I think the plan for this morning was to go for a little bit of a run and maybe a bit of a dip. First of all though, I've got to go and wake the angry bear, so wish me luck. Did you catch that? Tripping up again she was. Wow, absolutely stunning. Apologies if the wind's a bit too scraggly, but yeah, we're just kind of walking around the lake here. And the views are just incredible. Yeah, a bit of a scrabbly path, but oh, high altitude stuff is just so good. You good?
I'm good. A little bit more technical than I was expecting, just walking around a lake.
Stunning.
And my hair's not exactly behaving either.
But from a distance I thought you were a big marmot.
I see a
fisherman.
What? I'm not sure when I go on the Furka Pass. I'm no marmot. Oh my, oh my, oh my, no.
That's tomorrow's plan. So I've seen pictures of the Furka Pass. I've seen the guys on Top Gear driving the Furka Pass. I might have even seen a James Bond movie on the Furka Pass. But to see it in person from up here, oh my goodness me.
Yeah, wow.
This is one of the reasons why I said to Nicola I want to get up early doors tomorrow morning and be able to enjoy it. We did similar in Norway, the Trollstein Road. Get up early and then hopefully avoid most of the traffic. Because of course we're at 1400 or we're at 1100 meters now. We got to drop down to
2,100.
Sorry, 2,100 meters. We got to drop down to about 1,700 to then go back up again. So fun times.
I tell you what though, it's just beautiful to come and see the scenery as well.
Yeah.
It's stunning.
Absolutely beautiful. Switzerland once again. By the way, look how shiny my head is. All the supercars. Idiots. And that's why we want to be doing the road tomorrow morning about 7 o'clock, to avoid people like that. Oh goodness me guys, several hours later, and while the light was absolutely stunning earlier on, and in fact right now as well, it's just sort of fading, goodness gracious me, it is absolutely Baltic. It's probably about, I think it said it was getting down to about 4 degrees.
I can't get my breath as much.
Huh?
I feel like I'm getting less air. Is that imagination?
Probably.
Oh, I think I'm freaking myself out. I went way up there and then they got like a barrier across and I was like freaking out in case there's something really bad up there. And I was like, oh my God, I can't breathe. There's something like awful up there, like nuclear waste or something.
What?
Yeah, I think because I was up there on my own, my imagination got a bit away from me.
Right guys, well we're going to head back to the van.
Get away from the nuclear waste.
Get away from nuclear waste, and we shall see you tomorrow morning when we're going to get up early.
Oh, I can breathe again now, I'm lower. I literally was freaking right out.
We'll get up early and we'll go up the Furka Pass. See you guys then. Well, good morning guys. As you can see, rather cloudy out there. I'm whispering because it is 5:30 in the morning and there's a few people up and about, but most people still in their scratchers, including Nicola. So I was hoping there's going to be maybe a little bit of sunrise colour for a little bit of pixel popping, but probably not going to happen. Maybe a little bit of light on those far distant hills. But our main priority this morning is first up, get Nicola out of bed before, well, probably about 6:15 or so, because I'd really like to get up the Furka Pass after 7. And that's going to be a challenge. She is not an early morning person at all. But what an incredible place. Thankfully, and I know this would have going to be mild, but thankfully no impact of sleeping at 2100 meters for either of us. I was mostly worried about Nicola because of her migraines and stuff, and I know sometimes altitude sickness doesn't work like that. Anyway, I'm going to wander around here for another 10-15 minutes or so, see whether any light appears in any of those peaks, and then go back and risk getting my head torn off by a menopausal, lack of sleep, hungry, no tea wife. Wish me luck. Sorry, I just had to dive back in again. The light on those high peaks across the way, absolutely beautiful. A little sort of splash of light behind me as well. This won't be a photography channel, trust me, but mountains and photography, and hopefully a little bit of running. It's good for the soul. It really, really is. And also gives me the courage to go in and attack, not literally attack obviously, that'd be frowned upon, to challenge myself to wake her up. Anyway, back to the light. So the first thing you have to do whenever you leave the Grimsel Pass is drive down, I forget the name of the village, But that's what makes the drive up to the Furka Pass a little bit more interesting, because of course we're losing about 300 meters of elevation. So it's time for the gears to do their business. So that's us all the way down. No rest for the wicked. All the way back up again. Back up the Furka Pass.
By the way, I'm not enjoying this one a little bit.
Funny that, the GoPro started recording just as we were reaching the tightest hairpins. How you feeling?
I'm alright. Coming up wasn't too bad. It's the downhill I don't like.
And it's funny because you see everyone come in and they park their car or their motorbike in front of the now abandoned hotel.
Gonna have to watch the movie now.
But yeah, so we came from way over there, and our advice, absolutely, stay on the Grimsel Pass, and then just come early in the morning to do the Furka Pass. So, good job.
It is nice, I'm just thinking about the downhill.
Fun times. How you doing?
I'm okay.
Yeah, it's not altitude that's taking your breath.
No, it's the fear.
The thought of going back down again. Oh, it's beautiful.
It is lovely. It is
It's
lovely.
absolutely stunning.
Much better today without that wind as well.
So we're
You've
about,
been blown off here.
I think we're about 2,400 meters.
I will find out. Hang on a second.
Just do that statistic thing.
2,440.
There you go.
Oh, hang on. No, 2,420.
You just fall off the cliff. We weren't at the very, very top, so of course, got to get Nickel up there. So we're doing that dilly dander up to the, I think where those guys were parked down there and where we've parked, that's not the official. I think up here at the very highest point in the pass, you pay 3 Swiss francs each person, tourist tax, to park up here. So, but I still preferred where we parked because it was nice views, and up here would have been very exposed last night. You know what, I stand corrected actually. The Furka Pass might have been a good place to stay.
I think it would have.
There's actually porta potties there as well, which seemed to be in reasonable nick. But it would have been very exposed up here last night, I reckon. But on a calm evening, not too shabby. Time to head back. Is that gin? Time to head back down the Furka Pass.
That wind's getting up actually again.
It is actually,
it's
yeah.
cold.
So nice and gentle, second gear, and probably you'll hear a lot of Nicola's deep breaths and grabbing onto because actually on this part of it, not a huge amount of safety barriers.
What have I said about saying things you don't need to say?
Lots of safety barriers, slight gradient, all good. Quite funny, guys. So we've come back down and parked in a little Belvedere car park, and all the supercar drivers are standing in front of their cars getting, in fact the guy here has got not only a pink car but a pink hoodie as well. That man does not do style by halves. He's also directing his lady friend, who looks less than impressed, having to wear a very skimpy top.
And we're still going down. I thought we were down.
We're still at about 1,000 meters, girl.
Oh, are we?
Yeah. Well, that's the Grimsel and Furka Pass done and dusted. And now we have about a 2.5 hour drive to our next park up spot.
Look at this train track, by the way. This goes way, way up into the mountain where we were.
It does.
I don't think I'll be going on that.
So guys, that's us now well and truly down to more flatter terrain, but we are so glad that we did the pass first thing this morning. We just pulled into a little sort of side road just to grab some tea and toast, coffee and toast, but you can probably tell behind me that the traffic's really starting to build. So yeah, stay at the Grimsel Pass overnight, then get up first thing in the morning to do the Furka Pass. Otherwise, it's getting quite busy, right? Coffee time, and then we have about a 2-hour drive. Why, baggers? We have about a 2-hour drive to a campsite where we're going to be for the next 3 days doing a lot more hiking. So I guess we shall catch up there.